Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we will be talking about the many comebacks that happened last month in April. April was one roller coaster of a ride. To anyone reunited, aespa turned Coachella into Kwon Eunbi, and in extremely sad news Hot Issue disbanded right before their 1-year anniversary. April served us with what I can only describe as a light spring breeze with the occasional burst of sun. The majority of releases were good or okay, with only a few completely knocking my socks off. If there's a comeback that I've missed, it's either because it flew under the radar for me or I didn't have many things to say about it. But if you'd still like to hear my thoughts about them, let me know in the comment section below. Alrighty, enough talking, let's dive in. I've missed Suho's delicate vocals so much. I'd recommend you all to have a look at the lyrics of the song because they are so beautiful and poetic. If you're missing Day 6, Flying or EXO's winter albums, then this album is exactly for you. It's so comforting and feels like a warm cup of tea. Morning Star is my favorite from the track list, but it's a close race between all of the songs because they're all that good. Totally off topic, but I can imagine Taeil from NCT doing a song like Grey Suit really well too, and I'd love for him to go solo soon. Pretty solid debut. It sounds like your typical late third-gen girl group release, especially cause of the tropical house influences that take me back to simpler times in 2017. Something about it makes me feel like it could have easily been a Produce or Girls Planet song. It's also just your typical bubblegum pop girl group release that reminds me of early Cherry Bullet and just a little bit of Light Sum and Luna Solar. Also, the MV reminds me of GWSN's Bazooka and Wua's Purple. I'm quite impressed with the quality of the song, but I feel like I'd only listen to it when I'm in a particular mood or only during the summer. It reminds me of a GWSN or IZ*ONE B-side with some Sungha vibes. Overall, I think this is her best styling to date and it's a fun song, but I do have my problems with the comeback. I've never really noticed it before, but this release brought it to my attention, and it's that styling and choreography need to match with each other. There's no denying that Eunbi looks absolutely stunning in her concept photos and her stage outfits, but I don't think it goes with the vibe of the song. The MV is amazing, and when you listen to the song itself it sounds like it belongs on the runway. But when you put everything together, I'm not sure if it all meshes well. It just feels like Woolim chose these fits simply because Eunbi looks amazing in them. To match with the choreography and the song, I think something like the all-white look Chungha wore in Stay Tonight would have looked better because a lot of the choreography in Glitch focuses on her arms and hands. Suits would have also been pretty cool, but I do have to note that the outfits where she wears opera gloves do work to highlight the choreography. I think they should have stuck with a futuristic minimalistic look rather than a fashion editorial aesthetic, because I don't think tulle feathers and high-low dresses are what this kind of song is looking for. Regardless though, her vocals are so heavenly. I love the final act of the song and I'm glad we got to see more of her versatility in this release. I just wish that everything could have worked more cohesively. I don't even consider myself that big of a fan, but I can say with confidence that this is the best song of the year so far. The hook is beyond catchy and they're literally just saying woo. I feel so nostalgic when I listen to it, like I've been transported back to the late 2000s, early 2010s, which only makes it even more addictive and fun. I hear a lot of influences from the Pussycat Dolls and a bit of Selena Gomez's Love You Like a Love Song. There are some flamenco Spanish dance elements infused with 60s doo-wop beats in the verses, which I dig a lot and is very 2000s. Oh, and the dance break. That was exceptional and put the song over the top. This truly doesn't look like a first comeback at all. This looks like something they would release after being at the top of their game for a while. 11 was great, but Love Dive just drove over her and left them choking on her dust. Their debut grew on me a lot, but after a while my love for it plateaued. Whereas I think Love Dive potentially has greater longevity. I could imagine Chungha or Sunmi doing a song like this, but probably not in the same way as they've been able to do it. Whenever I listen to their songs I'm reminded of the fact that they've only released 2 singles and have just reached the 6-month mark. If these girls can do this much damage with these few songs in this short amount of time, I don't think we're ready for what's coming next. Side note, the flying car scene reminded me of the secret story of Swan and now I'm sad. So hyped for Le Seraphim's debut soon. The Kings are back. If comfort were a song this would be it. It's like you're being snuggled in a warm blanket while nestling in the soft meadow grass. It doesn't really feel like a song. Probably cause of its unconventional structure. It honestly feels like a personal conversation where they're pouring their heart out and speaking about everything that's been on their mind. It also gives me some Queen ballad vibes. I love how they took their words in Flower Road seriously cause it makes this comeback all the more meaningful and beautiful. I really hope that they come out with an absolute banger next or do something similar to their Made series cause a lot of K-pop stans haven't actually experienced the madness of a full throttle Big Bang comeback. I've been a stan since 2017 and only got to go through Flower Road before they all went to the military. Ball is in your court YG, please don't let us down. They are my alts, so by default I have nothing but praise. If I tried my best to be as objective as possible, I still would give absolutely nothing but praise. Everything from the song itself to the choreography, especially when they yeet Jun's song into the air. Soul for a long time was my favorite title track of theirs and I consider its album to be gold standard. But this is by far their best song to date. X-Ray is a great continuation of the vibe they were going for in Control and kind of fits into the Jekyll and Hyde concept from my interpretation. I reckon if you like MONSTA X title tracks then you'll definitely like X-Ray. One thing that I do wish the song included was an extra rap verse for Kang Sung because I think he could have given the song an extra punch to make it sound more epic. As always, I've already done a full review of the comeback and album so you can check out the video if you want to. I'm glad they returned to the concept they debuted with because as fun as Do For Me was, it wasn't for me. I got a lot of MONSTA X Shootout, Atti's Wonderland and EXO Monster and Lotto vibes from the MV and concept photos. The song is high in energy and is really fast paced. Musically it reminds me of Stray Kids stuff circa 2019. The best part of the song is hands down the bridge where Ye Wang serenades us and then we get hit with a double kill from Aiden and Baeksung. This McNay line is too lethal, I tell you. I love the concept but the song is a bit too much for me to listen to on a daily basis and I feel like I've seen this stuff done before. Except for the set with that huge metalwork and pretty lights. That was really cool and blew me away when I saw it. Given the controversy around the lyrics, I'm glad C9 responded quickly to it and changed them. It seems like it was all an unpleasant coincidence. At least I hope that's the case. And I hope that K-pop stans don't trash EPEX cause their music is really good, especially their B-sides. This incident reminds me of the time a Bohemian Rhapsody cast member was in Japan and took a photo in front of the Rising Sun flag, which angered a lot of Asian fans because of its context in World War II. People in the West aren't taught much about events in Asia, so what may seem as an obvious thing that you would think everyone should know about may not be so obvious. Same goes for people in Asia whose history lessons are probably more tailored towards Asian history. I'm not trying to make excuses or belittle people who have gotten hurt by the lyrics, but I'm just trying to provide perspective to the issue. Anyways, in regards to the album, I literally prefer all of the B-sides over the title track and they've all been added to my everyday playlist. That said, I think this EP has the potential to top their god-tier debut album for me in the future. First Key, then Minho, and now ONEW is continuing the retro synth wave for SHINee. If you like Young Jae's vibing, then I think this is for you. I have a horrible habit of expecting the main vocalists of groups to release ballads and underestimating their range. Dice has been one of my favorites and one of the standout releases of the month for me. It's retro. It's funky and groovy and fresh. It's everything that I love. I think another reason why I love it so much is cause the music video reminds me of mid-2010s SHINee. All of SHINee's recent solo releases have hit the mark for me and I really hope that they have a group comeback this year, even if it's just the three of them.
Send the home in the jungle.
The emo urge to immediately crank up the volume whenever this song comes up on my playlist. If this doesn't play during the apocalypse while I'm fighting for dear life against a horde of zombies, I'm going back into my bunker. Piri has been my favorite Dreamcatcher title track for a long ass time, but now that title now belongs to MAISON. It's my new anthem, and knowing that it's about saving the environment makes me love it even more. Going into this comeback I had a really good feeling that they were going to do really well and get their first win, and I'm so glad that I was right because they've waited far too long to get what they deserve. I'm so proud of them and can only hope that 2022 is going to be a big year for them. Kind of a random observation, but does anyone get just a little hint of TVXQ's Rising Sun in the instrumentals? Doya moaned this era. The way he started the second verse like that was too dangerous and smooth. When the concept photos dropped I got some AB6 or BDC vibes. But then when I saw the trailer and teasers it gave me NCT Dream Raiden and Gravity My Turn vibes. So I had no clue what I was in for. In my opinion, the chorus is what sells the song. I think the problem with Reload is that I can imagine other groups singing this song and I've seen it all before. I'd like to see them experiment with different sounds or even return to what they debuted with, cause that was top tier. The song still slaps though, and I would let it play if it came on. But I really just want to see them recapture that magic they had when they debuted. I really hope that the epilogue is a teaser for the next comeback and that they'll return with something that's refreshing and ethereal for the summer. Sharp Objects was amazing, but this song finally shows Sorn's full potential and I love that for her. Cube really did themselves so dirty by not paying attention to the CLC members. Sorn is thriving at her new label and I couldn't be any prouder. And can we talk about how gorgeous the MV is? It makes me so happy to see the budget and quality improve with every release. When the name of the song first dropped I was expecting a rock-inspired song, but I'm glad I was wrong, cause this is exactly the kind of song I listen to on a daily basis. Something about Sorn's vocals that I've just realized is that it's kind of similar to Selena Gomez and HyoLin's. Strange combo and observation, but take what you will from it. Again, I have nothing but praise for this release and I can't wait for her to drop an album in the future. It reminds me of 17 and early VERIVERY, which I correctly predicted in March, and just about any other refreshing, youthful boy group release. I like the song, but I think they should have debuted with something that makes them stand out more. A B6 and BDC debuted with such bops and one of 9 in comparison falls a bit short for brand new music debut songs. The song is kind of an odd one for me cause I'm not usually one for these types of songs, but something about it reminds me of 3rd gen boy group B-sides which I have very fond memories of. It's one of those songs where I have to wait until the chorus to remember that I actually enjoy it. Speaking of which, I haven't picked a bias yet, but Unho stands out to me a lot and I really like his voice. I've grown pretty curious about this group, so I might look more into the members and get to know them. Side note, is it just me or does the maknae kind of look like Ghost 9's Jun song during Up All Night era? Joyriding Gangsta VERIVERY, my prayers have been answered. Damn, they are doing the absolute most. I really like the new direction they are taking with their music and think it suits them the most out of everything they've tried. I love the Easter eggs sprinkled here and there in the MV that call back to the previous songs in the O series. The chorus is a bit underwhelming, but then again it could have been an artistic choice because of the concept. The verses slap though. It's not a bad song and I like that it uses instrumentals that I rarely hear in K-pop. But I wish they did something a bit more epic or a sentimental anthem like Lovesick Girls that closes the series and brings everything full circle. I think they should have had Undercover as the title track for the single last month and used O as the finale, but that's just my opinion. The 90s energy. I am so in love with the instrumentals. It's got everything that I love from the decade. The heavy piano chords, iams, light synths, wind chimes, hip-hop beat, saxophone and soulful vocals. I love that it's so dynamic cause it makes it so much more fun and enjoyable to listen and watch the MV. The black and gold stage is so glamorous and it only makes me want to see MONSTA X on a stage like the Grammys even more. Rush Hour is still my favorite MONSTA X title track, but right after first listen, the song etched its way into a special place in my heart where it is welcome to stay for as long as it likes. Also goddamn I am dancing with that cane. Sir. It sounds like an archived IZ*ONE song and kind of reminds me of So You's Gotta Go. When Lovelyz was around I didn't really know much about them, but I loved their orchestral pop sound. I had only ever heard of and seen Sujeong as an amazing vocalist who led vocal-wise one of the best third-gen girl groups. So I was really surprised with this song cause it's dance pop and she even raps in it. I swear to God Woollim's soloists are the full package. This release nearly slipped under the radar for me and I'm so glad that it showed up on my recommended. I have no idea why this isn't getting the attention it deserves cause it's such a bop. Guys, please check it out cause the Lovelyz girls need all the love and support in the world right now. The MY album is what I'd describe as the diary of a hopeless romantic and I love it. When looking at all of Idol's solo debuts, I've loved each of them for different reasons. Soyeon for its badass and unapologetic energy, Yuki because of its retro concept, but I think I like Miyeon's just a little bit more because the album is filled with songs that match my personal taste in music. I'm actually surprised at how much I like this debut cause she isn't even my bias in the group. The MV reminds me of Rosé's On the Ground and Blackpink's Lovesick Girls. I think they could have done a better job with the music video cause the budget looks lower than what Idol music videos normally look like. But it still manages to create the runaway with your lover vibe which I love. If you liked Escape from Idol's recent album then this is the song for you. Drive kind of sounds like a song that Taeyeon, Balsa or IU would release and I think that speaks very highly of Miyeon's potential of becoming a notable soloist. I have a feeling that Minnie will make her solo debut next, maybe later this year, and I can't wait to see what she'll bring to the table. Ella are back with yet another masterpiece. Before heading into the comeback, I had a strong feeling that I was going to like it. But it's Elast, so of course I was going to like it. The MV reminds me of One Us Is To Be or Not To Be, which has an aesthetic that I always love to see. And the song gives me VIX and VERIVERY Getaway vibes. It's been a few days and I'm still recovering from Roman's killing part and looking like Solan from Dark Moon Dear Lord. Sungkyu looking like a vampire prince and witnessing Platinum Blonde Rano in action. Tears of Chaos is still my favorite title track of theirs, but Creature is something special too and isn't really done that often anymore. This new album of theirs has their best collection of B-sides ever and warrants a gold standard rating from me. I think the B-sides outshine the title track, but Creature still is a good performance song, which when we really narrow it down is the defining feature of a title track. Poison and Desire are giving me Michael Jackson in the 80s realness. Shelter sounds like a heart-wrenching, supernatural second-gen ballad that belongs in a musical. Nightmare brings out a new flavor of Elast which feels like it's the emo little sister of Dark Dream. And I can't believe we were gifted with an over 5-minute song through Let Me Free. That's pure musical artistry right there, and I applaud their team for never blindly following the trend. And for bringing back sounds from the past and doing them authentically, because that's what makes this group so special. Side note, but not them doing a wolf concept and naming their album Raw. PFFFT, they're one of my faves, so I have a liberty to clown them. When the teasers first dropped I was expecting an all-in 2.0, not something that rivals the rebellious carefree attitude of Sorry Mama. This honestly sounds like a song that I'd expect iKON or Treasure to do. It just has that YG energy to it that gets you hyped and head banging along. Right now the song ranks fairly low in my personal ranking of DKB title tracks, but that's only because they've released absolute bangers in the past. This is probably an unpopular opinion, but I prefer the remix version of the song over the original. I think it's because I prefer the electric guitar over the piano in these types of songs. To be honest, I think Sober would have been better as a summer comeback. Even their new B-side Getaway is perfect for a summer comeback. I'm really hoping that we get more DKB music this year, cause everything they make is gold. You'll already know that when Psy comes back we're in for a treat. Add in some sugar and we're now feasting for days. I haven't laughed this much or felt this upbeat and happy from a music video in such a long time. It's so camp and weird but totally owns it, which I love. If it was even possible, these two men have made themselves more of an international treasure than before. I find it so adorable that they call each other besties and are so comfortable together. I swear to God, Suga only ever wanted to make music and never signed up to be a dancer, yet everyone gets him to dance. It's so hilarious. The song was an immediate everyday playlist ad, which feels so strange to me cause I'm not usually drawn to songs like this. Oh well, only Psy and Suga can change my taste in music. Okay, so that's it for the review. Thank you for making it to the end of this long ass video. Comment down below your faves of the months and also your hot takes of April's comebacks. Until next time, stay groovy, stay safe, keep smiling. Love you all. Bye bye.